from your opponent. Not a lot of damage, but if they don't have a weapon available, sometimes you have to throw like a Wolf Rider into it or whatever you have on the board. So strategic use of Explosive Trap is good, and you can actually see on the mulligans on your screen, TidesofTime actually holds onto it. So that's just shows how much this card is valued in this matchup.
Yeah, so both do pick up 1-drops. The Glaive Zuka in hand for Tides is a pretty good start as well. The coin could be pretty crucial if you use it at the right time.
The Leper Gnome trades.
He's thinking about coining out the Abusive Sergeant as well, but didn't bother.
Yeah.
What do you think about silence on the Leper Gnome here?
No.
Mm-mm.
Well, yeah, no. In a way, it seems good just because I said this is a race, and that's something that you want to do, but it's a cheap beast that you can use later on for kill command plays.
Yeah, that is true.
So there's things like being able to get through Misha is one of the things that you might want to save it for.
Yeah. No, that's true. I was just throwing it out there, just, speculating, spitballing. Yeah, we do see that Explosive Trap come down from Tides. Trying to keep track of which hunter is which at this point. Not always the easiest. And Eagle Horn Bow feels pretty strong here. You can use it to trigger the Explosive Trap.
I really like the still picture that Tides uses. When it's not his turn, he faces away. And when it is his turn, he faces the board.
Yeah, he just, only looks at the board when he has to.
Movie magic.
So he actually goes with a Wolf Rider here.
It's like a metaphor about Face Hunter. They don't even have to look at the board.
This juggle's pretty important. Oh, goes to face. If I'd gone to the Wolf Rider, that would have been a really good tempo swing for Tides.
Yeah. I think Gaara's still in a little bit of trouble because he doesn't have Unleash the Hound, which is sort of your comeback mechanic in this matchup. And he doesn't want to take face damage, but he has to throw this Wolf Rider into the Knife Juggler, and then I'm sure he's going to Knife Juggler and Mad Scientist to try and juggle one of the creatures off here. But this,
a little bit of emotes.
This is just really rough, though, because his Knife Juggler is going to get traded into by a...
Glaive Zuka.
Yeah, by a Glaive Zuka, which is... If he had Unleashed and had been able to wait one more turn for that would have been really good. And he actually has a lot of burst, because... I don't know if a lot of people here remember, but back in the day, Leroy Unleash used to be a pretty sick combo.
Disgusting combo.
Because for 7 mana, you're automatically guaranteeing yourself 8 damage. Which is pretty good, and that's if they have no creatures on the board. Because you're summoning 2-ups for your opponent, so you're automatically going to get 2 hounds. So usually it's like a 9 damage burst combo, which Leroy, of course, used to be 4 mana, so it was pretty reliable.
And Unleash used to be 2.
Yeah.
So when it was a 6 mana combo, it was pretty good. Now at 8 mana, slightly less good.
Yeah. He's thinking if he has time to use the Glaive Zuka here to proc the trap and then equip the Eagle Horn Bow on top of it, or if he has to override the Glaive Zuka with the Eagle Horn Bow. Because he can't attack him with Leroy here just because just going to get killed by Explosive Trap. So he's actually going to override the Glaive Zuka. He doesn't think that he has time. Oh no, he didn't attack with it at all. Okay.
That's interesting.
That's really interesting.
I'm not sure I like that. I think you need to get that secret down as quickly as possible.
No. That's good. He didn't want to give him a charge from the bow.
Yeah. And again, yeah, that does give Gaara a difficult decision here on whether or not to...
Oh no, actually, this is okay. No. He was hoping he didn't have direct damage this turn, because what he could have done is next turn he could have Hero Power, and he could have set up a lethal on the same turn that he had Leroy Unleash, but it wouldn't come for a couple more turns, so it'd be really hard to do.
Oh, there's Arcane Golem. Yeah, so the Unleash Hands is going to trade. He's going to proc the trap with the bow. And I guess he's just going to Hero Power, I think.
So next turn, he can do 6 damage from Leroy plus 8 damage. He is sitting on lethal next turn. What What does he need here? He needs kill command. That's not going to do it. I think
That's
game
going to
for
be
Tides.
it. Yeah, so Tides is going to take the Face Hunter mirror match. Quick going, but you know, it was never going to be a slow game with Face Hunter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Face Hunter versus Face Hunter, probably the fastest matchup that you can find in competitive Hearthstone.
Yep.
Actually, in any Hearthstone, competitive, non-competitive, casual.
Anything with Face Hunter.
Yeah.
So that's game number 1. Tides going up 1-0. Gaara does still have the Face Hunter though, and actually, this is kind of have the Void Caller in it, and I think he did have the Sea Giant as well.
Yeah, a little bit of a clunky start because he has both weapons, but it's not too bad. The one bad thing though is that he's not going to be able to set up a turn where he can Leper Gnome and Glaive Zuka. So this Woodwalker is just going to trade right into this Leper Gnome and basically just make it a 2 damage nuke, which I guess isn't too bad, but I'm sure he had higher hopes for that little Leper Gnome.
Yeah. Silence in the Egg is pretty good, though he may regret using that later if it comes down to a Void Caller. But it feels pretty good if he's playing things like Power Overwhelming, and he did have the Power Overwhelming in his hand. We could well have seen that last turn.
All right, let's see it. Time to race.
Very slow start from the Face Hunter.
He holds back on the bow.
That's pretty interesting. I'm not sure what to make of that.
I think he's trying to be conservative with it so that he gets procs off with the explosive trap. I talked about it a little bit earlier, but against Zoo is one of the only matchups where Face Hunter actually plays a little bit more of a control style earlier. You can't really call it a control style, a desperation move. But this is actually really rough because the explosive trap is only going to clear out those 1/1 spiders. It's not going to even.
But it does go up.
It is going to give him a charge of his bow as well, so he's basically refreshing that. But I mean, this is one of those situations where the Zoo has taken so much control over the board that even if the Hunter manages to claw their way back with an Unleash the Hounds, it's still the race might go into the Warlock's favor.
Yeah, this is where Zoo really takes control of this matchup. Just being able to control the board really well and not allow your opponent an inch to get anything going on the board, and that could be really a big problem. He's probably gonna have to Animal Companion here with the Knife Juggler. See what he gets from this. Misha would probably be best, I think. Leok, not good. Probably going to want to take out the Juggler here.
Take 3 damage to the dome.
And that Sea Giant is coming down next turn, most likely. You can't, yeah, there's no way to prevent the Sea Giant. Obviously, you don't know the Sea Giant's coming, but... Oh, we could see... He could even clear the board here and play Sea Giant. But I think he probably just goes face.
If he goes face, why wouldn't he play the Abusive Sergeant?
Okay, he's going to trade the Knife Juggler.
Okay, that makes sense then. Because playing the Abusive Sergeant on the board would still allow you to play the Sea Giant, but it would get you an extra couple damage. I don't know why he wouldn't play the Abusive Sergeant in that situation.
Guess he's maybe a little bit afraid of Unleash the Hounds.
Or he's going for a surprise win. He actually has lethal in his hand. Sea Giant Power Overwhelming Abusive Sergeant is going to be 14 damage, so that's game.
Wow, another quick series. And it's going to be Gaara leveling the series at 1-1. Sorry, it's going to be Tides going 2-0 up.
Yeah.
With the Zoo here. My mistake. And
yeah,
Gaara's not happy with that, you can see.
And Tides just mocks him with his still photo.
We had Tides on camera earlier. I don't know why we don't have it now.
Yeah.
That's suspicious.
Mildred has a really solid chance against this matchup, just because of the sheer amount of heal that Mildred can actually put out. And he actually holds on to the anti-heal bot, so not too bad. We also see the Volcanic Lumbers in this deck as well, which could be really tough for Face Hunter to get through if you can play those on an early turn.
That's true. I mean, we haven't seen a Hunter's Mark. It's a pretty rarely seen tech card in face hunter these days.
Yeah. This actually might favor Tides in this matchup.
I don't know. That hand's that hand's pretty clunky.
Drawing into a 2-drop, an actual body as a 2-drop here was really important because if you just hero powered here,
yeah, that'd be really hard. So he does have the body here. His Tides is gonna, he's gonna go for face with the hero power. Has a cold light next turn if he wants to go that way, but Animal Companion gonna come down. Pretty easy decision for Gaara. Hasn't rolled a huffer. That's disappointing.
It's still an absurd amount of damage though.
He's gonna innovate out the anti-heal bot here, I think.
Yeah. Actually wasting points of the anti-heal bot's heal.
But he's already drawn Healing Touch, so I guess he's got so much heal.
Doesn't really matter. I'm sure Gaara watched the games before to actually realize that this is a mill druid.
Oh, it's so difficult. It's so difficult to know what to do as a face hunter. I guess you just have to.
I think.
And that's something you never usually say. With
I think the instructions for Face Hunter are in the name of the deck.
Well, yes, but I mean, like, what are you playing to here? What's your win condition? What are you coming up against? How do you deal with the threats that are coming down? If you saw
there is no threats that are coming down.
Well, Volcanic Lumberer. Volcanic Lumberer is a big threat.
Yeah, that's true. It's gonna be a while before that comes out, but you're right. That is a threat. Tides is already at 11 health.
Yeah, I was just gonna say he is getting pretty low here. This may well be an academic conversation because the Face Hunter is doing what it does best. Are we gonna see Starfall?
Huh.
Starfall's difficult because you can't proc the trap this turn, even with the hero power. But even proccing the trap leaves you so low.
He's afraid that he's gonna next turn if he doesn't clear what's on the board. I think he's afraid if he plays Kool-Aid Oracle that he's just gonna be dead.
And he is, right?
Not quite. He has 10 damage total.
No, it's taken off the board.
He'd be he'd be one mana off being able to throw in a hero power as well.
Ooh.
But
yeah, 1 mana off lethal.
so this is actually really tough for him to be able to play Volcanic Lumber because he's not really going to ever kill more than one creature in a single turn unless there's an Unleash the Hounds, but he's not going to ever build up a board big enough for Unleash the Hounds to spawn more than 1, maybe 2 creatures.
Exactly. We're going to see the Healing Touch here, so that's going to keep him alive for at least another turn, possibly, unless he draws something.
Next turn he can innervate out the Volcanic Lumber, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
No lethal. Oh, Leok, that's rough. That's really rough.
That's really bad. Gar's not happy with that either. His Animal Companion rolls have been really bad.
That one Huffer that we saw earlier, the sad Huffer that had to trade instead of going face. He went and told all his brethren, all his Huffer brethren, and they're now rioting.
They're on strike.
They are on strike.
So we didn't see the Volcanic Lumber. Flare is interesting.
Wow.
Well, there's Leroy.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually pretty good for Volcanic Lumberer, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
But that's not going to matter because Kill Command's going to come down unless he heals.
No, he can Volcanic Lumber and Hero Power.
But there's enough to Owl Kill Command Hero Power for the Hunter.
Mm-hmm. I think
so Hunter can do 7.
He has to use Ancient of Lore to heal here. Okay.
Yeah, that's what he's going to do.
He picks the right choice. And he's going to innervate Hero Power to get a little bit more heal. Wow, this is bold. Bold moves. Unleash the Hounds, still not enough. Gar's like, what the heck? Where's all this heal coming from?
Is he just going to go for the kill command here? Yeah, he's just going to go for it. Hope he top stacks another one. Now he's got the Unleash the Hounds. Poison Seeds doesn't really help. I guess the Lumberer keeps you alive.
Cold Oracle might be the play. No, it looks like not.
Yeah, I think you got to go for the taunt.
Not gonna do it. Oh no. He can't attack though here. He just has to.
No.
He basically has to wait until he has lethal or try and draw into heal. He's trying to think if he should put bodies on the board, but let's see. He couldn't even force a Nature Saboteur because he wouldn't have enough mana to actually use the hero power. As a desperation attempt, he could try and force a draw with that play, but Cold Oracle sort of has to be the play here because he needs to draw into heal. He's got another healing touch in the deck. I think he's got another anti-Q bot as well. Keeper of the Grove, not going to do it.
Swipe, not going to do it.
Not going to do it. He is putting more damage on. He is going to heal out of range of that hero power. Can he draw the kill command? He needs direct damage.
Well, he has
Silence.
it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he drew it to the owl, so he can Unleash the Hounds, hero power. That's going to be it. So Gaara's going to get that win there, thankfully.
That was actually pretty close because there was actually a lot of ways that he could heal out of range. He still had, like I said, an anti-kill bot left. He still had a healing touch left. He hadn't been through that much of his deck yet, but that's the power.
Yeah.
Just because it's a body as well.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I mean, there's a chance if he thinks that he's going to get blown out early on and he wants to guarantee that he's going to have healing touch, then he'll keep it, but I don't think he really hold on to heal and Zoo.
Yep, that's pretty fair. And not the greatest start for the Zoo. Doesn't have any 1-drops. And Knife Juggler by its own could be a little bit of an issue, but I guess against the Mildred you feel a little bit safe. They don't have a huge amount of damage they can do. They do have the swipes, but I guess isn't the biggest problem in the world.
Wow,
that's interesting.
Damage over 2 turns. Well, next turn he can coin swipe. So Imp Gang Boss going to come out here.
Yeah, but that's really bad.
Coin swipe takes care of it.
That's a really good heads-up play from Tides. Tanking the 3 damage there. Taking 6 damage from the Knife Juggler, but is able to use... Oh! That's really interesting. If he doesn't coin swipe here... He just Cold Lights.
It's pretty greedy.
Yeah, that's interesting.
He might be saving it for a bigger board. Because if you coin swipe, you're not really developing anything. You're using your coin, which can be paired with Wild Pyromancer to make for some bigger combo plays to help clear the board. And you're also not really getting into anything. He's getting further in his deck this way. He's also putting a body on the board. So it's not the worst thing in the world. He's going to take a lot more damage in the process. But the way he's been playing, it doesn't seem like he's really afraid to take much damage early on in order to set himself up for better plays later on.
Yeah, I mean, he does have a decent swipe play that if the Void Caller comes down here, though the Void Caller is going to pull a Doomguard or an Imp Gang Boss, so...
Oh, this turn he can Hero Power Innervate Swipe. Ooh!
Yeah, he's just going to not kill the Void Caller.
Yeah.
I think that's okay.
You never know what's going to come out the back end of that thing.
Yeah. And we see there is a Doomguard in hand, as well as another Imp Gang Boss, which would be really difficult to deal with, so... I think this is okay, dealing with just 3.5 minions, I guess, if you count that extra 1/1. There's another Gang Boss, there's a Haunted Creeper, there's a Direwolf. And Gaara's building up to the Sea Giant here, and this looks like pretty much the identical Zoo deck that Tides was playing.
Wait, is Gaara's last deck Freeze Mage?
I assume so. I don't think we saw any Mech Mage until Muzzy.
Mildred, I think, wrecks Freeze Mage.
Yeah. That's... Yeah. That'll be pretty interesting.
Thinking about it, I think this Mildred might be here just to target Mechmate or just to target Freeze Mage.
That would be a very astute pick from Tides.
Yeah, that'd be pretty ridiculous if that's the case.
All right, well we're gonna see. Oh man. Okay, he's just going for. Does he have lethal?
Yeah.
No, he's well. Yeah, Tides is gonna concede, so it's gonna go up to 2-2. And it's going to come down to the Freeze Mage versus the Druid, and as TJ was just realizing,
yeah,
it potentially be in the semifinals.
That's pretty crazy. This is pretty awesome, and it's a really good read from him if that's the case. It just doesn't seem like there's many ways for Freeze Mage to be able to come out on top of this matchup, unless the Mill Druid draws poorly. Even if the Mill Druid doesn't manage to mill anything, even if there's no discards from the Freeze Mage, or he isn't able to make him discard cards, then it's still, I think, really strong just because of the sheer healing alone. Freeze Mages have a limited amount of damage. Unless they get like an infinite Archmage and Tinnitus setup, which is really hard to do, especially against cards like Naturalize.
Yeah.
They have a finite amount of damage. They have burn spells, and that's just about it. That's why they have trouble beating Warriors, because if Warriors are able to heal through all the damage that they do, there's no way for them to win because they just can't do enough damage. They don't have creatures.
Double healing touch already in hand.
Yeah, plus Cold Light Oracle. So if the hand gets too full, if Gaara gets a little bit too hyphy with his draw, Tides can punish.
He does have an Arcane Intellect. This has actually been okay so far for Gaara. He's been able to empty his hand of the 2 Loot Hoarders and the 2 Mad Scientists. So he's getting his cards out.
I would save the Cold Light Oracle.
Yeah, I think so.
Naturalize.
Naturalize Cold Light puts him at 10, so he's going to burn a card.
Yep.
In fact, no, it's going to be because of the Loot Hoarder, he's going to draw 3, and then Cold Light, so he's going to burn 1 here and then burn a draw.
It's so great.
What's he burning? That's an Ice Lance.
Okay, well, Arcane Intellect is... He actually probably wants to burn that Arcane Intellect.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's actually... Gaara's going to be pretty happy with that.
What does he do here? He has to empty his hand. He has to play Doomsayer, and he has to play Frost Nova just to empty his hand.
That's so bad.
But he's at 8 cards. Cold Light Oracle is just going to come out again. He's going to burn another card.
Oh, man. This is really bad.
Yeah. He might actually wait for the second Cold Light Oracle to try and get more than 1 burn, because I don't know how much he values that 1 burn.
Yeah, I like that.
And there is a chance that we didn't see the last 3 or 4 cards in this deck. There's a chance that he's playing some like bounce, whether it be Youthful Brewmasters or the Ancient Brewmasters.
Yeah.
So he might be saving that second Cold Light Oracle for to bring it back to his hand and use it twice. I'm not actually sure. We haven't actually seen the full deck. We're still missing a couple cards.
Ooh, Starfall's going to take this out.
Yeah.
Thorson. He can actually... Oh, he can't quite. He's 1 mana short.
He also doesn't want to mill himself, which is a big thing. If he used Cold Light Oracle last turn, then he would have discarded a card himself, I think.
Yeah. There's the Antonidas, and there's a free Ice Lance there as well. Lots of cheap spells already, so...
The funny thing is, there is a way for him to deal with Antonidas next turn. And Antonidas that stays on the board for a couple turns is one of the only ways that Tides of Time can lose. So if that gets placed down, you can bet anything that he'll go to any means and beyond to move this from the board. I wouldn't be surprised. I guess Poison Seed would be a pretty easy way to do it.
Yeah. It's probably the best way he has to deal with this. So yeah, Gaara, what does Gaara do here? He can't play he can play an Ice Barrier because that's been popped. He doesn't want to play Acolyte, doesn't want to play Arcane Intellect. He's just gonna play Anti-Keelbot for 1.
Oh, this is
and
great.
play Ice Barrier because he has to. This is crazy.
It's fantastic. This is my favorite matchup.
You could still get milled though. Cold Light Oracle Grove Tender.
If he Cold Light Oracles, he's gonna mill himself. He might not be worried about that though.
Yeah, I don't know if he cares. I think the cards that the mech mage, the freeze mage is going to burn are so much better.
Yeah. He's gonna have to like throw away cards in order to do this. And I don't know if it's worth it for him to mill a single card.
I think he's going to go for it. He's going to.
Yep.
Let Oracle. Oh, Wrath. And the second innervate, he could innervate Thorson.
Yeah.
Oh, and he could Wrath this 3/3. He could innervate Thorson. Playing the innervate first to empty his hand was really smart. It's actually some. I like the innervate Thorson here, but it looks like he's going to favor the swipe.
This is so crazy.
This is just such an insane matchup. I can't believe this is. I just can't believe this is a match that we're actually seeing.
Blizzard.
Blizzard's not too bad. There's not a lot of board control in this matchup.
Yeah, he hasn't burned that many cards, but again, he's in a position where he has to empty his hand. He has to use. The Cold Oracle's out of the way. He knows that, so that's something that he can take solace in.
I think the Grove Tenders are done as well, right?
Has he only used one Grove Tender?
He might have used both. I'm not sure.
But the second Naturalize is still something that he has to worry about, and and that's a pretty big deal. He's also got to get through a lot of points of damage.
Yeah, this is getting a little bit scary for the Freeze Mage. And as I say, there's so many cards in his hand that are dead right now. Ice Block, Arcane Intellect, Acolyte of Pain. He doesn't want to play Doomsayer because he doesn't have a follow-up for Doomsayer. I guess there is kind of an argument maybe for Doomsayer and Cone of Cold. Yeah. Mostly to get the Cone of Cold out of your hand. You clear the board. In case there is any bounce, you stop them being bounced back. Yeah. So I think that's what we're going to see. We're going to see Doomsayer, Cone of Cold here.
Plus a ping.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, he's just actually going to ping off the Cold Light, which is interesting. Not pinging off one of the armor.
It's more heal.
That's insane.
He has 24 points of heal in his hand. 24 points of heal. So Keeper to Silence, and then it looks like Innervate Emperor Thorson is going to be the play here. Really strong stuff. And this sort of forces Gaara next turn to... he might Archmage Antonidas Frost Nova.
Yeah, I can see that.
But that's pretty risky. Okay, so if you Archmage Antonidas Frost Nova, he'll be at 7 cards. So even if Naturalize does come out on the Antonidas, he's still not going to overdraw. But I think he wants to wait till he sees that second Naturalize before he plays that Archmage Antonidas onto the board. Unless he knows that he's going to get at least 2 fireballs from it, he doesn't want to just throw it out there all willy-nilly.
So what do you think about Antonidas Frostbolt Icelands on the Thorson? Get yourself up to 4 fireballs. Guarantee 2 from your Archmage.
Mm-hmm. That might be the better option if he decides to go for that play. I mean, other than that, he could just go for like Fireball, and then just Fireball. Maybe even try and draw. But
trying to draw, that sounds pretty scary. That's pretty dangerous at this point.
He can rule out the Cold Light Oracles, but okay, yeah, here we go.
Right,
Archmage Antonidas Frost Nova is the play.
Okay. He's gonna Iceland's face as well.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he wants to preserve the Frostbolt for burn. There's Starfall, so he can clear the Antonidas here.
He can Starfall Wrath, or he can Poison Seeds. I'm not sure if he wants to Poison Seeds here because he'd be activating that Doomsayer.
Yeah, you're essentially giving him the Doomsayer back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you probably Starfall and Wrath here, or Wrath and Starfall if you prefer. Doesn't really matter which order you do it in.
Oh, off the top. I don't know if he wants to use that though. Well, he has to now.
Yeah, because he wrathed for 1.
He could Pyromancer and Starfall. It would
Yeah,
virtually
that's
serve
true.
the same purpose, but
It's going to naturalize. So that's going to be another card burned.
that's
What's
actually
it
not
gonna
too
be?
bad.
What's going to get burned for Gaara?
Oh no, that's actually important because that's just extra
Yeah.
burn that he's gone through. Now his Archmage Antonitis is gone. He has a limited amount of.
Gaara shaking his head.
He can't. I don't think he can win. There's a limited amount of damage in the deck. He's used an Ice Lance, so all he has left is Frostbolt, Ice Lance, and 5 Fireballs and a Pyroblast.
Wow, there are 2 cards left in the deck for Gaara.
2 cards.
8 for Tides.
Oh no!
8. He's
That
going to hit
is-
fatigue so much quicker. And Tides is just drawing his cards now. He's cycling his Wrath. Is he gonna draw with the Ancient of Lore?
I wish this picture of Tides on the still image was a Twitch chat emote.
Because that's exactly what Tides' face is like right now. He's sitting. He's like, I could do anything and win. In his hand right now, just in his hand alone, he has 29 points of heal.
That's absolutely insane.
He doesn't even have to deal damage. All he has to do is just sit on the board and heal. He's almost out of cards. 1 card left. One of those is an Ice Lance, I think. And oh no, it's Alexstrasza Pyroblast. If I'm correct.
So can Gaara can win here with the Alexstrasza, right? But he's just gonna heal back up. I mean, he could heal bot double. He could heal bot Healing Touch.
He could Poison Seed, Starfall, double Healing Touch.
Wow, that's insane. Double Healing Touch puts him up to full health. What? That just cancels out the Alexstrasza. Oh,
Yeah.
and Gaara just doesn't have enough to put it down from 30, right?
Doesn't have enough oomph.
Or 27. I guess he could use the Thalnos.
I think he has 30. The last card might be Pyroblast.
But he's just got Tides just has so much heal. Yeah, the last card.
Oh no,
Oh, the
it's
last card's
Blizzard.
Blizzard.
So does he not? He doesn't run Pyroblast.
Well, I mean, we've seen his entire deck, so
Yeah,
you can say pretty safely.
yeah. He's just gonna throw as much damage as possible at him. But I think that's gonna be game. He doesn't have enough damage. Only 18 damage left in the deck. He's gonna heal back up to full health this turn.
Yep, and he's going to start taking fatigue.
Yep. I
So
guess
he's gonna
not
go
quite
for
full
the-
health. Yeah.
They're going to go for the Ancient of Lore and then a Healing Touch.
Virtually full. Then
Yeah,
you can.
and that's it.
Okay.
The Mill Druid beats the Freeze Mage. What a crazy match that was.
Yeah. I think